Hello children, let me welcome you to the virtual class of the Brihan Mumbai Mahanagar Palika. My name is Shraddha teacher. Children, we are in the middle of this COVID-19 pandemic and because of that we are not able to go to school, but that doesn't mean we are going to stop learning. So we are going to do many lessons which are very interesting from your textbook through the virtual class here. So let us do a lesson in English today. So children, here I am back with a lesson in standard 5th scholarship and that also English scholarship. So the lesson that we are going to do today is a very short and sweet lesson and it is also a very interesting one. And now we all know that we are doing unit 1 in your scholarship portion, isn't it? We are talking about vocabulary. So we are learning more about words. So the lesson that we are going to do today is the 7th one in the unit of vocabulary. So let us call it as topic 1.7. And the name of the topic is one word for many. So sometimes we tend to use a number of words when it is not needed. We can just use one single word instead of using 3 or 4 words. So instead of using a phrase, we can use a word instead of it. Now when will you be able to do so? You will be able to do so when you have a very good vocabulary, when you have knowledge of the maximum number of words, isn't it? And that is why we are studying these topics based on vocabulary. So come on, let us see what are the words which can be used instead of many different words. So we will study 1.7, one word for many today. So let us try to understand what this means first. So see, we can express the meaning of a group of words appearing in a sentence with a single word. So what is a sentence? A sentence is a group of words. Now, a group of words in a sentence, you could sometimes replace it with one single word. You need not use so many words for that particular idea. So if you have not understood this already, you will understand it better when I give you certain examples. So let us take a look at few examples here now. So let us take example 1 here. The boy in the village was unable to read and write. Now this is a simple sentence which is talking about the capacity of a boy in a village, and we are also saying that he is not able to read and write. So this phrase, unable to read and write, you can replace it with one single word. You can say illiterate. Someone who is unable to read and write is called as an illiterate person. So then how can you read the sentence now again? You can say the boy in the village was illiterate. See, got the idea of the topic that we are going to learn today? So we are going to try to replace a group of words with one single word, or we are also going to see about a word and how it can be described in many different words. Okay? So the first example for you was very simple. Let us look at a few more examples to clear this idea. So look at sentence number 2. Could you please share pictures of the place where fish are kept? So see here, could you please share pictures of the place where fish are kept? So which is the place where fish are kept? What is it called? It is called as an aquarium. So you could also say, could you please share pictures of the aquarium? So aquarium is one word which can be used instead of the phrase place where fish are kept. Okay? Chalo, one more example. Paper can catch fire easily. So catch fire easily. Something which can catch fire easily means what? Something which is inflammable. So instead of saying paper can catch fire easily, we can also say paper is inflammable. That is, it can catch fire very easily. You know, sometimes paper burns fast. Okay, and other things like wood, etc., it takes time to burn. But paper burns very quickly. So it is highly inflammable. So this is the basic idea of the lesson that we are doing today. What are we doing? We are trying to replace a number of words with a single word, and also we will try to look at the exercise in another way. We will try to look at how you can describe one single word using a phrase or many words. Okay, come on, let us look at a few more types of examples, and then we will move on and try to see the question patterns and also solve a number of questions. So let us look at these examples now. So this is a phrase, and let us take a look at one word which can be used in order to describe these phrases or these group of words. At this point of time. So instead of saying at this point of time, you can simply say now. Alright, so you can say I am teaching at this point of time. Instead of saying all that, I can say I am teaching now. Then you say the reason was. Instead of saying the reason was, you could say because. I went there, the reason was I wanted to learn. Instead of that, you can say I went there because I wanted to learn. Okay, now in view of the fact that, instead of these many words, again you can make use of the word because. Was observed to be means was. Instead of saying was observed to be, you can just say was. It was observed. It was observed to be that he is a teacher. Instead of saying this entire thing, you could say he was a teacher. In the near future means soon. I will go to the market in the near future means I will go to the market soon. In most cases means mostly. It would appear that means apparently. Okay, she had gone. It appears that she had gone there, but she did not see him. So we can say apparently she went there but did not see him. Is suggestive of could mean suggests. As to whether could mean simply whether. In the vicinity of would mean near. It was evident that. Instead of saying these four words, you could simply say evidently. In the event that, you could say if. Okay, so these are all the single words that you can use instead of these many words that we have. So this is one way you look at the examples. Now let us take a look at another way on how you can use one word for many or vice versa. So look at these many words now. One who has no parents. So someone who has no parents, what is that person called? An orphan. Okay, one who is not married or one who is unmarried. What do you call such a person? You call that person as a bachelor if he is a man, or a spinster if it is a woman or a lady. One who eats too much. Who do you call a person who eats too much? You call him as a glutton. Okay, a glutton is a person who goes on eating and eating and eating, sometimes even beyond his or her capacity. Then you have one who is settled in a foreign country. That is, he was settled in his own country at first. So people from India, sometimes they go and settle in foreign countries, isn't it? So what are those people called? They are called as emigrants, or a person who settled in a foreign country is called as an emigrant. That is, he migrated from this country and he went and settled in some other country. One who knows many languages, what is such a person called? Is called as a polyglot. Okay, One who has vast experience in a field. What is that person called? That person is called as an expert. Vast experience. One who rules with all power. All power means does not give any kind of, you can say, freedom, or does not allow anyone else to have a say in how the rule is being done. So who's such a person? Such a person is called as a dictator. Alright. Then one who treats sick people. Who's a person who treats sick people? Yes, that person is a doctor. One who works in science. Which is a person who works in the field of science. He is or she is a scientist. And one who has the highest rank in a university. That person is a university topper. Okay, so these are all words which you can use instead of a phrase. So after having seen so many examples, children, you can also refer to your textbook. You'll be able to see many more examples. Now what we will do is, as we usually do, we take a look at the various types of questions that can come based on this particular chapter. One word for many. So you have these question patterns. So we have very less number of question patterns here. I told you, it is a very short and a sweet lesson. So pattern 1, give one word for the following. Pattern 2 could be, which group of words from the following meaning as the same? And the third one will be, find an appropriate word for the underlined group of words. So in the first pattern, you have to give one word for the following. Following means what? It will be a phrase, or it will be 4-5 words. And then the second will be, they will be giving you a group of word and you have to find out one word. Okay? And then you have to find out an appropriate word for an underlined group of words. So a sentence will be given to you. Alright? Let us understand more about these patterns by taking a look at various examples. So let us start with pattern 1 and let us take a look at the first example here. So choose one word for each of the following. So this one, example 1, a person with torn clothes. So what are torn clothes called? Are they called as robes? Are they called as rags? Are they called as dirty clothes, or are they called as just clothes? So torn clothes, someone is wearing torn clothes means we say that person is dressed in rags. So you have option 2. See, torn clothes and dirty clothes are two different things, okay? So a person's clothes may be torn, but it might still be clean. Coming to example 2, same pattern, you have the phrase, one who loves his country. So who is a person who loves his country? So is it an expatriate? Is it a patron? Is it a patriot or a patriarch? So who is a person who loves his country? A person who loves his country is called as a patriot. Example 3, Desh Bhakt, we say in Hindi. Coming to example 3 in the same pattern, we have the phrase, an underground passage. So what is an underground passage called, children? Is it called 1, a tunnel, 2, a peak, 3, shallow, or 4, cave? So an underground passage is called as a tunnel. So you have option 1. Coming to question or example 4, a place where clothes are kept. So what is a place in which you keep your clothes? So is it a drawer, number 1, rags, number 2, safe, number 3, or 4, wardrobe? So where do you keep your clothes? Clothes are usually kept in a wardrobe. Now some people put clothes in the drawer also, but that is not the right place to put your clothes. So the place where you put your clothes is actually called as a wardrobe. Coming to the last example in this particular pattern, you have 5 fit to be eaten. So when something is fit to be eaten, what do you call it? That is, it is not spoiled and it is something which human beings can eat. So what do you call it? Do you call it gullible? Do you call it too edible? Do you call it audible? Or do you call it capable? Yes, we call food which is fit to be eaten as edible. Okay, so these were 5 example questions for you from pattern 1. Let's move on and let's go to pattern 2. Which group of words form the following means the same? Okay, so let's see. So we have the word daily. So daily means what? So you have 4 options. So let us see which one from these 4 options is the right one. So the 4 options are: daily means published every day. Daily means published every month. Daily means published every week. Or daily means published every year. So daily means, yes, what? Correct. Daily means published every day. That is why it is called as daily. Okay, children. Now before I move on to the other questions and other examples, let me once again remind you that in this kind of exercise, what are you supposed to do? Yes, you're supposed to pause the video and find out the answers yourself before checking on the answer. And also let me remind you that after you finish watching the video, I have a few tasks for you. Now what those tasks are, I will tell you towards the end of this video. Let us move on and let us go to the next example in this particular pattern. So you have example 7, biannual. So biannual means what? Annual means year, we know. Okay, so biannual means what? Happening every year, happening once in 2 years, happening twice a year, happening once in 3 months. So now all of us know that bi means 2. Okay, but is this, how do we know bi means 2? Because we say bicycle, a cycle with 2 tires or 2 wheels. But here we have 2 options with 2. We have happening once in 2 years and we have happening twice every year. So let us see what the answer is. So the right answer is answer number 3, happening twice a year. So there are certain events which are biannuals. They happen twice a year. Okay, let us move on to the second last question in this particular pattern. So you have question 8, portable. So what is the meaning of portable? So portable means kept in a pot, or portable means fit for drinking, or portable means fit for eating, or portable means fit for storing. So you have 4 options, 1, 2, 3, 4. So which one is the right one? Yes, answer number 2 is the right one. Portable means something which is fit for drinking. Okay, let us move on to the next example here in this particular pattern. So you have the word invisible. So instead of writing invisible, you could also write cannot be heard, cannot be felt, cannot be smelled, or cannot be seen. So what can you write instead of invisible? Yes, you can write cannot be seen. That is option number 4. Okay, and then coming to the last question in this particular pattern, you have question 10, popular. So which person is a popular person? So is it a person who's interested in pop? Is it a person who's sick? Is it a person who's liked by people? Or is it a person who's very gentle? So yes, popular means liked by people. Someone who is a very, very famous person. So you say an actor's name, or you say an actress's name, and you say that person is very popular, means many people know him and many people like him also. Coming to the last and third pattern which can come up in this particular lesson, you have find an appropriate word for the underlined group of words. So you have a sentence here, and in that particular sentence a group of words is underlined, and let us see what else can we say instead of these different words. So you have example 11. The children enjoyed the tricks of the funny man at the circus. So the funny man at the circus could mean jackers, a jockey, a joker, or a person who's jovial. So what is the exact answer to this? The children enjoyed the tricks of the joker at the circus. So who is a funny man at the circus called? The funny man at the circus who wears those colorful clothes and who has a big red or blue nose, okay, and a very funny weird hair. That person is called as a joker. So joker is a word that you can use instead of using the words funny man at the circus. Okay, coming to example number 12. So you have, he is so intelligent, he is incapable of making mistakes. So someone who will not make mistakes, someone who is perfect. So what is a word which can be used? Is it invincible, unconquerable, insatiable, or infallible? So which one is the answer? So is it 1, 2, 3 or 4? Yes, it is 4. Infallible. Infallible means someone who never fails, someone who never makes a mistake. So you can say, he is so intelligent, he is infallible. Alright, moving on to the next example in the same pattern. That is example number 13. The country was shocked at the certain murder of the king. Now, murder of the king has got a particular word for it. Is it fratricide? Is it regicide? Is it reticence? Or is it patrimony? So which one is it? This sounds a little difficult, isn't it? It is regicide. Side means killing. Okay, when you say suicide, it means you're killing yourself. Alright, so country was shocked at the sudden regicide. When regicide happens means the king who's ruling that particular country has been killed. Coming to the next one, Komal put her foot down with force on the floor. So when you put your foot down with force on the floor, what do you actually do? Do you stamp? Do you storm? Do you struck or strode? So this is all in the past tense. So we say stamped, stormed, struck and strode. So what do you do with when you put your foot down with force? You actually stamp. So it is answer number 1. Komal stamped on the floor. So she put her foot down with a lot of force. Maybe she was angry. Okay. Maybe she wanted you to do something for her. Maybe she was showing her strictness. Whatever it is. But she stamped her foot on the floor. Coming to the last example in the last pattern for this particular lesson. So you have example number 15. The Indian government is a government by the people. So what kind of government do we have in India? Is it aristocracy? Is it autocracy? Is it plutocracy? Or is it democracy? I think this is very, very simple because all of us know what kind of a government exists in India. Yes, it is answer number 4, democracy. So India is a democracy. We have a democratic form of government. So the Indian government is a democracy. It is a government of the people, for the people and by the people. So children, this was your lesson number 7 from your unit 1 vocabulary, that is one word for many. We tried to understand what is the meaning of this concept. We saw various examples and also we solved certain questions based on the patterns. Now that we have finished doing this, let me tell you what the tasks are for you. So children, now you have watched the video. So after you watch the video now, you will have to complete a few simple tasks. Now you might have watched the video on your computers or your laptops or your mobile phones. Now, after you watch the video, what will you do? You will please go to the description box which is given below the video. So, what is the description box? See, the description box looks like this. Alright, and after you go to the description box, you will see that there are a few questions there. Now, what are these questions about? These questions are about the lesson that we just learned or the video that you just watched. So what will you do? You will think back properly about the lesson and you will try and answer these questions and note down the answers in your notebook if you want. Okay? After that, we have another task waiting. You will also click on the link which you will find in the description box to fill up the Google form. So now what is the Google form, children? It is nothing but a simple form. There are a few simple questions there about the video which you just saw and also about yourself. So these are the tasks now that you will have to complete after you watch each video. So children, wasn't that a very interesting lesson? I'm sure you learnt a lot of new things in this lesson. If you have liked this video, please hit the like button and also subscribe to my video so that you will get to see all the videos which I keep posting regularly.